Today, I'm going to rank every champion in the UFC, and this is just based on how good I believe each champion is, not necessarily how good their resume is, just how skillful and good I believe they are. So we'll start at flyweight and we'll go all the way up to heavyweight. So let's start with Pantoja, and I honestly think he's the worst out of all the champions. He's obviously great, and I definitely believe he's overall the best in his division. But let's be real, that's probably the weakest male division in the UFC. And though his grappling is great, I wouldn't really say anything about him like super sticks out. That's like incredible. He's just good everywhere. He's not great everywhere, he's just good everywhere. And that's kind of enough to be the flyweight champion. And I'm not saying the whole division's bad or anything. It's just when you have that little insane competition, it's hard to be insane. It's hard to look as good as the other champions in the other divisions because the other champions in the other divisions have so much higher level competition. So they have to grow. They have to become better. Pantoja could definitely be nearly as good as all these other champions if he just had higher level competition. But he doesn't really. His highest level competition he's fought so far was Moreno, and he beat him 3 or 4 times. So I'm gonna put him in A. Still a great fighter, just not as high level as everyone else in my opinion. So we'll go to O'Malley now. I don't think people give O'Malley enough credit. I'm not a huge O'Malley fan or anything. I'm not a fan of his personality really, but I have to admit he is a incredible fighter, and I think definitely underrate him because of his personality. But his striking is incredible. He made Cheeto look like a C tier fighter. Like, and I know Cheeto isn't the most high level fighter in the division for sure, but and the way he also dealt with Sterling, people also definitely underrate his grappling for sure. He has definitely underrated grappling, and with just his reach in the division, how fast he is, and how his footwork also really impressed me in the Cheeto fight. He is just super well rounded overall, and his striking is just probably some of the best in the UFC. So I'm gonna leave him an S plus. Then next we got Taporia. I under there's a lot of I haven't seen a lot of Taporia to be honest. I haven't I've watched a couple of his fights, but we just haven't seen a lot from him, especially when it comes to grappling. I mean, we've seen some of it. He submitted Bryce Mitchell, so we know he does have good grappling, and we see it a lot where we see a lot of people say how truly underrated his grappling is, and we just haven't seen a lot of it in the UFC. But what we have seen from him is just his incredible boxing and just his insane power for featherweight. I mean, just watching him fight, he puts so much into every punch, and you can tell he just has insane power with every hit. I don't. It's just hard for me to rank people when I truly haven't seen a lot from them, and I haven't seen them be like truly tested to their full potential. But I mean, just the way he dealt with Volk too, I'm gonna have to put him in S plus. So yeah, let's move on to Islam. I mean, I have to put him in S plus too, above O'Malley, above Taporia. I mean, he's the most well-rounded in the lightweight division for sure. He's his probably some of the best grappling in the UFC. His striking has improved so much in his recent fights. There's no way he can't be S plus, you know. So let's go to Leon now. I'm probably I think not overrated, but I guess technically, I do think he's a little overrated. Just a little bit. I don't. He has incredible striking, obviously, and I think his grappling is, at least in before his last couple fights, his grappling was underrated. It's not really underrated anymore, but uh, I I don't think he has a great mindset, to be honest. Like I'm not trying to shit on him right now, but like he needed his coach to motivate him in his fight against Usman. But I mean, it worked, so he won. But still, I also think his chin is a little suspect. You know, he got rocked by Diaz. I just don't think he has a great chin in general. Not a bad one, but it's just I could definitely see him getting just insane knocked out cold by like not the most insane shot. And he just doesn't impress me as much as S plus tier fighters do. Like he in the Colby fight, he impressed me with his grappling in that fight, but I mean, he didn't go for the finish. He kind of just coasted that fight, which I guess kind of in its own way is impressive that you can coast a fight against an elite fighter, but he doesn't impress me like these like S tier plus does, so I'm gonna leave him in S. And next we got Dreykus. Hmm. He's clearly improving so much every fight, but how it stands now, I think he's A plus. I think in his next fight, he's gonna look like an S tier fighter, but I think at the moment and judging off his last fight against Strickland, I'm gonna have to give him A plus. He's got insane. He's got the fucking dog in him. Like you could tell he really dug deep in his fight against Strickland and just fought. And he's just a fighter, but his striking wasn't super technical. His kicks were he definitely showed improvement in his kicks, and his grappling is it's pretty good. It's decent for sure. He's able to take down Whitaker, able to take down Strickland, but yeah, at the moment I would leave him an A plus, but in this next fight he'll probably be S, and if he keeps improving the way he has at this rate, he could definitely get to S plus one day. But for now, I'll leave him an A plus. And next we got Pereira. I'm gonna have to put him high up in S plus. His striking, I don't really need to talk about it. It's insane, and his not just his left hook, but his leg kicks are absolutely deadly, dude. No, we haven't seen anyone be able to take his leg kicks. Like they just fuck up every fighter's legs that he has done it to. And his grappling is also shown a lot of improvement, not offensively, but defensively very much. He even when he does get taken down, which he's pretty good at stopping takedowns, but even when he does get taken down, he is so good at just minimizing damage and just holding his opponents close so that they cannot get anything off, any offense whatsoever. And that he's shown a lot of improvement with that. So I'm gonna leave him an S plus, slightly behind Islam. Just Islam's more higher level grappling and just overall more well rounded. I feel. Next we got Aspinall. I think we put Aspinall here. Yeah, I'll leave Aspinall here. I'll put Aspinall here. He has great grappling, especially for heavyweight, and just the way he took out Pavlovich was crazy. I was not expecting that. He is striking is he's very fast for heavyweight, and Yeah, he keeps even though he's incredibly fast and incredible grappling, even has incredible power too. So he is just a force for sure. So I'll leave him slightly behind Pereira, skill wise. And John Jones, I'm gonna be honest, if Aspinall and John Jones fought, I think John Jones would lose. I think Aspinall, well, I would favor Aspinall, but I mean, John Jones could obviously win, but I would favor Aspinall. But skill for skill, John Jones is the most skilled fighter in the UFC, for sure. Even though I think Aspinall would probably beat him, I still have to put John Jones, in that GOAT slot because he's the GOAT, and I do think he is the most skilled fighter on in the whole UFC. So I'm gonna put him there. And I feel like I put too many fighters in S plus. I might, you know, I'm gonna knock down Taporia. Yeah, I'm gonna knock down Taporia to S. I just haven't seen quite enough from him yet, though he could definitely be an S plus. I just need to see more from him, and I know he knocked out Volk and everything, but let's be like, I'm not trying to take away from that win, but let's be real. Like, Volk just got knocked out. I think he rushed too much into this fight, and he was definitely like skittish a bit in his fight against Taporia. So he definitely didn't look like Volk in that fight. So I just need to see more from Taporia. If he went out and beat Holloway, I would for sure put him in S plus. But for now, I'll put him in S. And I believe this is my final ranking of every champion in the UFC currently. Let me know down in the comments if you agree, disagree, and I will see you all in the next video.